Morning, it's Vijay here. Today is going to be one of those manic Mondays, I suspect. Markets are at crossroads. There is equal amount of, let's say, positivity and negativity which is floating in the market. Yesterday, I did a special session, weekend session on narratives versus reality. Reality clearly says markets should be on a bullish trajectory, but if you look at the narratives, they're all on a bearish trajectory. In fact, lots of technical analysts talk about Fibonacci retracement. The market has hit a 61.8% retracement, so now it is ready for a fall. I'm not a great believer in the Fibonacci retracements because you have so many retracement number 38%, 50%, 68%, 78%, 1.3%, all kinds of numbers. So markets do go to one of those numbers invariably, and then the Fibonacci guys exult in victory, saying that they got it right. So the Fibonacci retracement guys today are talking about the market's going to fall down and significantly from here. I believe fundamentals will overpower technicals as they have done in the past. So it's a virtual tug of war between the bulls and bears. Even in the earnings, for the Nifty earnings, for instance, it's a tug of war. Above average predictions. Seven stocks have, out of the 26 stocks which have come out with their earnings, seven are above estimates, five are below estimates, in line is 12, and mixed is two. So basically, it's a tight fight between bulls and bears as far as earnings were concerned. I have been of the view that after April, that is these earnings, then the next earnings will generally get better and better, and therefore one can look for a very good 3 months ahead. I was always talking about Independence Day, the results by then, results will be good. It will be over also for this quarter. Plus, monsoons will be good. Plus, inflation will be down, and all other factors. RBI will reduce interest rates. So by August 15th, we should have higher rates on the index as well as the broader market. Now, how did India perform rest of week? India did reasonably well despite all the Pahalgam scare, 1.28%, and Dow Jones also did extremely well despite all the tariff scare. Hang Seng did well. Only market which lost last week was Shanghai, which came down zero point 0.5, and I think they're having holidays now, so we may not get to know what Shanghai will do this week. But generally, markets went up 2 to 3%. Kospi was slightly below 1% at 0.53, and India also did not go up to 2%. So, what are the cues this morning? Friday, as expected, last half an hour, there is always a panic, which we saw because of the long weekend, and everybody's expecting something will happen. Please note it's 12 days since the 30 days since the event. On the face of it, there is no kinetic warfare going on, but there is a lot of diplomatic warfare going on. I think the government is right in taking the diplomatic route rather than trying to go and smash some so-called terrorist camps in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir. I doubt there will be any visible terrorist camps because they've already got a head start of about 13 days. So Nifty hit a 30 this year's high. Adani Ports and Bajaj Finance led the gains, mainly because Adani Ports, there is a new port which is inaugurated by the Prime Minister in Kerala. Mid cap declined, small cap also declined. This is what I mentioned yesterday. The mainline stocks are holding fort, whereas the mid cap, small cap, and micro cap are declining significantly. IT was the dark horse. It was a sectoral gainer, top sectoral gainer. And Nifty PSU Bank suddenly went up in the last day, probably because they were expecting good results from State Bank of India. State Bank of India and Kotak Bank reported results which are not, neither great nor good, but definitely not bad, I would say. Nifty Bank did well. It went up on the last day because of IDFC First Bank and IndusInd Bank. IndusInd Bank, there is a rumor that the new person, MD, is likely to be somebody from outside IndusInd Bank, and that should augur well for IndusInd Bank. Auto closed in the red, metals also declined. FMCG continues to be under pressure for the third day. Now, Dow Jones went up on Friday. The jobs report was good. Dow Jones went up by 1.4%, Nasdaq 1.5, S&P also somewhat similar, whereas the European markets were all 2.5% plus higher. So that was very good after our markets closed. The significant point to note here is commodities. Brent crude broke 60. It had recently gone to 64. Now it was 58.38 is what we saw. So it is almost a low of many, many months. Gold is steady, silver is steady, copper is slightly on the bullish side. We hold Hindustan Copper for this reason only. So, what are the earnings today? From the Nifty, there is only M&M. In other cases, Coforge will be an interesting thing to watch. Camps is another one. Bombay Dyeing, Indian Hotels. Indian Hotels should come out with good results. So, this is what will happen this week. The other earnings, apart from M&M, which is today, is Asian Paints, L&T, Titan, Coal India, and Dr. Reddy's. Biocon also is coming. With Biocon, we hold Dr. Reddy's, and generally we are very, very bullish. Then US Fed rate decision is there this week. I think they should reduce interest rates, or at least they'll be very, very cautious in being cautiously optimistic. I think they will be there. So this week we'll also see the amphi data about the mutual funds, whether people have got in or got out. But so today is also a day when I show my trades on my Telegram group free of cost. So as usual, we'll be bullish. We'll buy on all declines, and we will continue to buy. There will be volatility as we go along, but as I say, short term it is down, but long term it is up. So whatever you do today, I hope it is successful. For joining me.